Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of What Do We Have Here? I'm your host, Tim Bonner with Stromquist. The idea of this little YouTube series is just kind of hearing about products that the vendors are excited about and hearing it directly from them. So today I've got Jonathan Mullis with Fireye, and he's going to talk to us about the Bernalogix adapter, what it does, how it works, and a few tips and tricks to go with it. So, Jonathan.
Hey, thanks, Tim. Appreciate you having me
Yeah.
on the show. So what we have today here, this is our counter display that we have with our distributors. So if you go in to Stromquist, you'll see this sitting on their counter. And what it is, we have the Honeywell Q wiring base. So this is what the blue box is used for installing their flame safeguard. So terminal blocks here on the Honeywell Q wiring base. And then we have to the side here, we have our Fireye Bernalogix, and then we have our wiring base adapter. So this is what the wiring base looks like on the Fireye world. So Bernalogix is our flame safeguard, red box. It plugs into the wiring base for the Bernalogix. And what you have to do is get the adapter base. It goes right onto the Honeywell wiring base. So our adapter base plugs right onto it, as you can see here, and you tighten it down with the screws. A couple of the things to consider are which way the wires come in. So do they come in, are they fed from the top of the Honeywell wiring base or the bottom? And you'll notice that on the back, we have terminal block. So what's the terminal block for? You're wondering. So every flame safeguard control has to use its own flame scanner. So for this demonstration, I did bring in one of our basic flame safeguards, a UV1A6. So it's a 6-foot version. This is our non-self-check UV scanner. And when you wire up the flame safeguard to the Honeywell adapter, all you have to do is, again, put the adapter base on. I'll just kind of lay that right there just to show you. Line up the screws there, and then you put your Bernalogix in on top of it right there. It snaps into the wiring base adapter. So everyone wants to know how thick it is. So it's about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches additional depth. So take that into consideration for your pen. You remove your Honeywell flame scanner from the Honeywell wiring base, and then you install the Fireye flame scanner. So it goes into the back of the terminal on wires S1 and S2. And then if you have a remote reset button on the front of your panel, we also have a terminal where you would land that wire into that. So
Awesome. So essentially, very little rewiring, really just the flame scanner. So it creates faster installs, fewer chances for mistakes in the field. Is it UL listed? How does that work?
it is UL listed. So that's critical for any flame safeguard control to have the UL listing. What it saves is time, wiring mistakes, because all the cross wiring is done on the printed circuit board here, as you see on the back of the adapter. And it honestly, if you are carrying around parts, you can have a wiring based adapter, you can have a Bernalogix. And if you're changing out Bernalogix controls, obviously you change that Fireye to Fireye. And if you can't find the Honeywell parts you need in stock, you can put the adapter on. You have kind of a one size fits all mentality.
So seems pretty straightforward. You replace this, and then you can swap that blue box for a red one.
Pretty much then that's how it works.
Awesome, awesome. And we have these at Stromquist. You can find them in our locations in Orlando and Atlanta, or on our website at stromquist.com. While I still got you here, kind of tell me a little bit more about the flame scanner. What's great about yours?
Well, it's pretty simple. So this is our non-self-check UV flame scanner, model UV1A. And then we have different lengths of the black cable. It is insulated, it's shielded, simple 2 wires. So any applications where you have a boiler or a process burner that runs on natural gas, lighter fuels like propane, hydrogen, it's a great scanner, simple, low cost, easy to work on, and works with Honeywell wiring base and our Fireye adapter. And make sure if you're using a UV1A scanner, non-self-check, you get the proper Bernalogix control. So you see today I did bring the YB110 UV. So these are compatible. So that's the biggest thing, is just to make sure you have the compatible parts. And it all matches up.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's what we got here today. I appreciate you stopping by and letting us tell us about it.
Thanks, Tim.